Exploitation Nation. Harry here. We're wrapping up the first quarter of 2020. The topic of the month is COVID-19, the coronavirus matter, and we're looking at it from a MSP point of view, a technology point of view, and we're looking at it globally. So we go across the pond today to Phelim Rowe over at CTG Intelligence in the UK. Sir, what is going on? Yeah, hi, virtually hi. What's your daily life? Let's start with your life, and then we'll talk business.
Well, we're keeping calm and carrying on, and we've been a virtual organization for about 5 years, so it's no massive change to how we work. The only big problem is, of course, if no one is allowed to assemble and groups are no longer able to meet, what do you do? Coupled with that, a lot of countries are in lockdown. Yeah, sure, we get to go out for some exercise and shopping, but it's created an entire planet full of people who are at home. And what are they doing? They're worried, they're anxious, they don't quite understand what's going on. Well, we don't understand what's going on, I imagine, either. And what it's created is an amazing online community coming together, looking to take their profession forward, but in a digital way. So what have we done? We've created a series of digital conferences, not these webinars. We're not a great fan of webinars. People come and go on webinars, and often people, sign up to my free webinar and I'll sell you stuff down your throat. We're taking the content model online, proper sign up. And you know what? We've got about 100 people coming to an event this Thursday. They're from all over the world. So that's the long and short of what's going on for us. We're genuinely positive, but of course, keeping an eye on everything.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that, because the pandemic has certainly validated the online approach. I mean, it was well in motion, but now it's now it's validated, and it is changing work behavior. So when you say an online conference, is the nature of it a little different, say, like with Zoom, where everybody's on a little camera and can speak up, which is different than a webinar?
Yeah, so of course, I'm going to be collating questions, and then we're going to put them to the panelists or the speaker at the end of each session. And of course, sure, if we have 5 panelists, we might have 5 different faces. Each one asks each question in turn, but it enables us to do some really funky things. So I have a speaker from Sierra Leone. What are they talking about? How they dealt with Ebola and what we should, do. And that's fantastic. That would be really difficult to coordinate normally. It enables really special things. And I think a lot of events out there that are attached to expos perhaps haven't given a lot of thought about the content. A lot have, it's true, but we've all been to some which haven't truly grasped what the audience might want to hear. And that's where this will lay everyone naked. Everyone will be exposed. They'll say, is Harry really into the SMB market and MSPs and IT? Yes, he is. This is the environment in which we're living. Everyone's naked.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you always had the best phrases. Last time we talked about extinction events and so on. So you're quite a wordsmith. With the format you have later this week, for example, we use GoToWebinar as our primary platform, and you can turn someone's microphone on. Somebody can raise their hand over in the dashboard over here. Do you see maybe a little bit of that you'll have someone handling production and turn on attendee number 67's microphone?
Well, actually, in this initial stage, that'll be me.
Okay.
I am at heart a producer, a curator. So I'll be able to mix and match. And what's really lovely is there's lots of familiar faces who will help me out, especially in this one we're doing on Thursday, because they value the connectivity.
Yeah, well, and I think you're hitting a topic head on. I've certainly been a fan of online education. I won't bore you with some early efforts in that area, but um, the challenge we've had was what I would call the perception of value. So it's the same Harvard professor, if I can be so bold, but um, I can stand and deliver a lecture on standard operating procedures in a classroom, and that's perceived valuable, right? If I do it online, historically, it's perceived as less valuable. And I think we finally have crossed over. But does that make sense that people, oh, it's online, it's free, it's not valuable? You know what I mean?
Well, the biggest mistake, and even I have a personal trainer, and he said, I know, I'm going to offer my services for free. And I suddenly said, no, you shouldn't. Well, first, I'm going to pay you, but all of your neighbors would pay you as well. Um, this is the time to say, well, I'm not going to charge you $1 million, but a small amount, it will, convey value. Plus, I will do a certificate. People actually don't have an alternative to this method of learning at the moment. And Twitter's been awash with people complaining and saying, please stop sending these posts pretending to care about my corona situation
Yeah,
when you're trying to sell me something. So
yeah,
now is the time to add value. Just add lots of value.
yeah, yeah. We had that exact conversation yesterday with one of our analysts, Ken Dwight, out of Houston, Texas, who uh, specializes in malware remediation. He's got his little niche. His trademark is the virus doctor, which could probably the irony,
Yeah.
he was talking about how he is personally taken back by vendors trying to capitalize on misery and not even doing a very good job of it. I mean, I understand there's being helpful, but then there's also exploiting.
Absolutely. And it's not going to work. It's tone deaf. Right now, those they're actually exposing something else, and it's that they don't know how to market online.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I mean, I'm getting emails all the time on my phone, and saying, hey, Pelham, please sign up to a new dark web threat intelligence service now. Well, who am I? Would I need dark web threat intelligence? And it's frantic, and it's desperate. And in this big evolution or revolution of the way we work, I don't think it will go back. Of course, there are some security concerns. So, is the time for the managed security service going to be amazing, as everybody will need one? You got to use your home protection. You need encryption. You need maybe VPNs. You need all this equipment, but it's going to revolutionize how we do business and how we work.
Yeah, yeah. I'll leave you with this along those lines. Back when I was hardcore kicking out 1 to 2 books a year, so the early 2000s, and my publisher Sharon Hara, who was a little bit old school, she gets on a plane and flies, and everybody has a paperback book in their seat. They're actually reading a book, and she was complaining to me that these e-readers, this is never going to work. There was only one on the entire plane. And fast forward the movie, it's even hard to see someone with a book, and they're all e-readers now, of course. And the overused term paradigm shift is exactly what we're going through, that online conferences, online education events, Pelham, we're not even going to think about it as being unusual. And I mean, you and I already know all this, but I'm talking about the average consumer. But in a couple of years, this will seem natural, right? Like, can you believe we used to get in a car and go park and pay $40 of parking at a convention center to stand all day at a speech?
Yeah. Or what about those poor workers who used to have to commute for 2 hours each way? What wasted time that was.
Yeah, exactly. What a GDP boost. But Well, hey, man, I think we're about out of time, so keep it safe. Thanks for being one of our monthly analysts. And
Yeah, no, my pleasure.
yeah, when we circle back next month, I'm going to make a side note, but I'd really like to understand how the online experience went. You know, the good and the bad and the ugly. We're all in it together, man.
Well, it'd be nice to actually invite you as a guest panelist or speaker at the end of the month. I'll send you something offline.
All right, you know how to reach me. All right, my friend. Okay, go get a walk out there and keep it safe. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
thank you. Bye bye.